Today's Namaste Yoga is another beginner's class on triangle pose. Hello and welcome to episode 156 of Namaste Yoga. Thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to let you know right off the bat that we're going to be running a contest over the next 6 weeks to help more people find us on iTunes, and all of you can enter to win. All you have to do is leave a testimonial and ratings on iTunes. And when you do that, just copy and paste your testimonial and email it to me at info@melissawest.com. And then at the end of each week, we will do a drawing and give away a free video each week for one of the testimonials. So we appreciate that very much. That just helps us move up in the rankings in iTunes and makes Namaste Yoga more visible so more people can find our free 1-hour yoga videos on iTunes, which would be amazing. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so let me share with you a testimonial that I received this week from Hannah from Facebook. She says, "Hi, my name is Hannah. I am 15. For a long time, I've wanted to lose weight and start yoga, but in the past, I've always pushed it away and didn't. Well, today, I was on YouTube searching for your yoga class for beginners, and I came across your video. So I decided that today would be my start of not only yoga, but a new and spiritual life. I went through your first class, Yoga for Beginners, earlier, and I am so refreshed and amazed by the power of yoga. I just want to tell you thank you for being such an amazing teacher and just simply being there to guide people like myself on a transformational journey. In the future, I plan to go through your classes daily, and I cannot wait. If you read this, I hope you know just how amazing and powerful you are and how you've pushed me to become powerful as well." So thank you so much for that. And as always, if you want instructions on how to leave feedback and comments on iTunes and YouTube, you can go to thankyoumelissa.com, and there's videos on how to do that there. So thank you so much for our sponsors, Squeezed Yoga clothing at squeeze.ca. So today I'm wearing the monochromatic gray outfit, which I really love. The long pants with the Om symbol on them on the top and the bottom. And I had so much fun with Donna this week. I went over to her place and I did some Christmas shopping there. So some of my friends are going to be getting some awesome squeeze clothes for Christmas. And then also thank you to John from Dusky Leaf for our yoga mat and our bags and our blocks and our straps and all our props. So awesome thanks to duskyleaf.ca for those. Okay, let's get to our yoga class today. Let me tell you, because today is a beginner's class, what I like to do is, for beginners, one of the things that is a little more challenging is maybe you don't know what to expect in a beginner's class. So I'm just going to spend a little time telling you what to expect in our class today. So whether this is your first class or you're coming at this with beginner's mind, I want to let everybody know that they all are welcome here today. Now, I want you to know triangle pose. Even me as an experienced practitioner, I kind of go, but not to worry. We're going to take it slow, and we're going to use lots of preparatory poses. So we're going to spend lots of time preparing, getting our bodies ready for this pose. We'll start want to let you to know what to expect. We're going to start lying down on your back in Shavasana, which translates as corpse pose, which is just a fancy way to say that you'll lie down in a relaxation pose to spend some time changing your focus from kind of being here, there, and everywhere to bring it into this unitary focus so that you're focusing on your body and your breath and just yourself for this next hour. So after some guided relaxation and setting an intention for your practice, what we'll do is, as I mentioned, some preparatory yoga postures, and you'll stay lying on your back for those, and you'll start to prepare your body for the main posture of the class, which today is Trikonasana, triangle pose. So in today's class, we'll do some postures to release your hip joints and your hamstrings so that it's easier to come into triangle pose. From there, we'll come up to kneeling and continue to open up your torso and your shoulders and in your hips and your hamstrings so that you're ready for triangle. So today's peak pose is triangle pose, as I've mentioned, and what we're going to do in this class is often triangle is, you come into triangle from standing, but I find this pose a lot easier to come into from a forward folding position and build it from the ground up. And also I find when you come into the pose that way, there's less chance of searing the SI joint. So we'll come into it and open the hips that way. So I find it less injurious for your body and easier to come into. So that's my intention for that today. So after triangle pose, we'll take advantage of your open hips and finish up with a seated twist. And then we'll come back down onto the ground and you'll lie back in Shavasana again. And this just gives your body a chance to receive your yoga practice in Shavasana, to take in everything that you've done and to integrate your practice. So that's what you can expect from today's practice. And we will get started now. So let me talk you through how to lie down. So you'll lie on your back. And generally you lie with your body in a straight line with your feet hip width apart, and you let your feet roll out in a relaxed position. Now, if your low back bothers you at all, you can always bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And in fact, it's probably a good idea just to do this for a moment so that you can settle your low back. So just bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor, press into your feet, curl your tailbone under, and place your pelvis back on the ground. So you can choose to leave your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Or if your low back's okay, you can lengthen your feet out again and let your feet roll out. And then you'll just check in with your arms. Your arms should be equal distance from your body with your palms turned up. From here, you'll want to check in with your shoulder blades. Just tuck your shoulder blades underneath you so that they're cupping your heart. And that should allow your shoulders to rest back a little bit more. Also, another thing you'll want to check is to make sure that your neck is neutral. And here, your chin and your forehead should be on the same level. So one thing that I'll see a lot when I'm looking around a yoga classroom is chins that are really high. So you might need to tuck your chin, and some people may even need to take a pillow and place it underneath their head. You may even want to place a blanket over top of you here in case you get chilly. So whatever you need to make yourself comfortable here, but that should be your general alignment here. So you can stay here resting back, and I will sit up and talk you through the guided relaxation now to center you and relax you and begin to take your focus into your yoga practice. Okay, so take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And take as many breaths like that as you need to allow yourself to settle in and arrive here now. And when it feels right, allow your breath to flow in and out through your nose. Breathing in and out through your nose. Just become curious about what's happening with your breath. Begin by becoming aware of your breath at your nostrils. Feeling your breath moving in and out through your nose. Now shift your attention down a little bit and feel your breath in your chest, in your upper chest. Feel your lungs as they fill with air, hugging your heart. And feel your lungs as they empty with air. And feel your chest expand at the front, side, and back of your body. Now shift your attention down to your belly and feel for breath movement down into your belly. Feel the rise and fall of your belly as you inhale and exhale. As you breathe in, feel your belly round. And as you breathe out, feel your belly, the wall of your belly drop back. Breathing in and breathing out. Now take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. Let your attention shift to your physical body, feeling your physical body resting on the ground, feeling the weight of your body heavy on the ground. And see if you can just release your body fully into the earth. So allow all muscular tension to let go. Let your bones and muscles sink heavy into the earth underneath you, allowing the earth to fully support you, feeling the earth embrace underneath you. So feel the solidity of the earth underneath you. Feel the pull of gravity underneath you, and allow your body to fully surrender to that. And each time you breathe out, you can let go of your physical body a little bit more into the ground. Now take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And bring all those things that you've discovered about yourself this morning together here. The things you've discovered since tuning into your breath and your physical body. And ask yourself, how could this yoga practice best serve me in my life right now? And by answering that question, you can form your intention for your practice today. So what is it that I want to receive from doing this yoga practice today? And that's your intention. Okay, so stay resting back on your back, and I'm going to join you now. So let's start by preparing your spine and opening up your side body a bit for a triangle pose. You can take your arms overhead, straight overhead if you have room, and bend your body to one side. Doesn't matter which side because we'll be doing both sides. If your shoulders are tight, you can always bend your arms here and hold on to your elbows. Breathing. And feeling the stretch in your shoulders and along your side body, maybe even into your neck. And then inhale and come back center. And you're going to exhale and side bend to the other side. So either with your arms straight or your elbows bent. Elbows bent is a little easier if your shoulders are tight. Feeling a stretch along your side body, into your shoulders, and maybe even your neck. Nice long, slow, deep breaths. Focusing on the sensation in your body and on your breathing. And then come back to the center. And then next you're going to need your yoga strap. So I have a brand new yoga strap today. So this is good because I need to show you. Ooh, look how long it is too. I'll show you how to make, instead of having my prefab okay, what you need to do is create a loop at the top of your strap, which you guys probably already have set up, but if you're beginners, you might not. So what you do is you loop your, this is really good if you're a beginner to learn how to do this. You loop your strap through both loops, and then you bring it back through. Gosh. Do what I do, not what I say. I'm not sure quite how to describe it. Okay, and look how nice and tight that holds. It's going to be tricky to... That is really good how nice and tight that holds. So I'm going to have to feed that all the way through. And keep pulling that back. To get a nice small... hole for my foot. So that's really great how tight that holds for poses like shoulder stand, when you use the strap for shoulder stand, even for this. That's how you create, because you won't want your strap slipping when you're in a pose like shoulder stand, or even when you're doing loops for things like bridge pose and wheel, and you're strapping your legs like that. You don't want this slipping, so it's a really good strap. Thank you, John. That was a little treat he's put in my package this week when he sent me the yoga bag. Okay. Threading. Okay, so you just need a little loop like that, and you're going to put it around your foot, and then you can lie back and draw your leg in. So we're going for a stretch in the back of your legs. You want to keep the back of your legs straight, so fully extend through your leg. And do use the full length of your strap. So hopefully you've got a nice long strap like this, so you don't have to reach up and get your shoulders up off the ground and get your head up off the ground. Keep your head relaxed, keep your shoulders relaxed. Use the full length of your strap. Let your strap do the work for you. And feel the stretch in the back of your leg. Take a nice long, slow, deep breaths here. So this is going to prepare us for, this pose actually mimics a pose that we're going to do later, which is standing forward folding triangle. And this is the pose that we're going to use to come into triangle. So when we practice these lying down, they're easier than when we come standing up. And by doing them from different positions, it makes it easier when we come standing up. So that's the intention here. Breathing and feeling the sensation in your body. Okay, so before we move here, keep your left leg really heavy on the ground. Feel the back of your pelvis really heavy on the ground. Feel your shoulders heavy on the ground. You're going to inhale and open your right leg out to the side. Okay, until you feel a stretch on the inside of your thigh. You might even want to bring your left arm into it here to hold on to the strap. Now this is going to mimic your triangle pose here. So we're practicing it lying down first. And I forgot to mention, if you don't have a yoga strap, that's totally fine. You can just use the tie from your bathrobe. That works just fine too. Or an old necktie works great too. You can improvise. You don't have to be fancy pants. When I started, I didn't have all these fancy things either. Okay, and now you're going to draw your belly button towards your spine, lift up to your pelvic floor, use your core strength, bring your leg back towards the center of your body, and then you can bend your knee and unhook your foot and lower your leg back down to the ground. And before you rush on to the other side, I want you to just take a moment here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. And feel the difference between the two sides of your body now. Not just your leg, but all the way up through the whole side of your right side of your body. Even your arm maybe here. So you can feel the effect of your yoga. You've already had an effect on your body here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other side now. So you'll bend your left knee, fold your left knee in, and hook up your left foot. Keep the back of your pelvis heavy on the ground, and then straighten out your left leg. And know that this side is going to be different, and that's fine. You have differences. You know, we would love for our bodies to be symmetrical. That would just be amazing. But they aren't, and that's okay. We might work towards symmetry in our bodies, but it's okay. You can honor the differences in the two sides of your body. So feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. And remember to keep your shoulders heavy, the back of your neck long. So you can let the floor take the weight of your upper body here. Feel the stretch in the back of your leg. Open up the back of your leg. Remember, you don't have to effort too much here. There can be ease and steadiness in your pose. Check in for any death grip on your strap. And are you breathing? And now, before we move your left leg out to the side, focus on the back of your pelvis being heavy, your right leg being super heavy, and then open your left leg out to the side. And when you feel a stretch in your left inner thigh, you're going to stop there. So this will mimic triangle pose when you come to standing. So you're preparing your body. Breathing long, slow, deep breaths. And then lift up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel back towards your spine. Then you've got your core strong and engaged. Use your inner thigh, bring your leg back to the center. Bend your left knee. Unhook your left foot. And lower your left leg back down to the ground. Take a moment here. Take a deep breath in. And let it fall out of your mouth. And just notice how your body feels now compared to when you first came to the mat today. Okay, and then you can just put your strap off to the side because we're probably done with that now. All right. So for the next pose that we're going to do in preparation for triangle pose now, we're going to do Keyhole stretch, which is a great pose to release your hips. So you can bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor, and then cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Open your right knee out to the side. Bring your left leg in towards your torso. You'll reach your right hand through, there's your keyhole, and reach around the back of your left thigh and draw your legs towards you until you feel a stretch in through the outside of your right thigh and into your buttocks here. Okay, you can use your right elbow to press your right leg out and keep your shoulders heavy on the ground. So you should feel a stretch in your right outer thigh and your right buttocks here. So this helps to prepare your hips for triangle. Just checking in what's happening with your breath. Keeping your left leg fully bent here. And then you can slowly release your left leg to the ground. Uncross your right leg. Take a deep breath in. And let it fall out of your mouth. Then we'll repeat this posture to the other side. So cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Open your left knee out to the side. Draw your right leg in towards your torso. Reach your left arm through that keyhole. Reach around the back of your right thigh. Reach your right arm around to meet your left hand. Use your left elbow to open your left leg out to the side and draw your right leg in towards your torso until you feel a stretch on your buttocks and in through your left thigh. Keep your back of your pelvis heavy on the ground, your shoulders relaxed, your chin and forehead on the same level so your neck is neutral. Breathing long, slow, deep breaths. Your right knee should be fully bent. And if you need a little more as you start to get through this posture, you can always bring your legs in a little bit closer to your torso. And then slowly release your legs down. And cross your left leg from the top of your right thigh, bringing both legs to the ground. And take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. All right. From here, you'll have your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. You're going to roll to your right side and come up onto all fours. Okay, so from all fours, walk your hands towards your knees and come up to kneeling. Okay. From here, if you need to double up your mat at all so that you have extra support underneath your knees, you can do that. We're going to do a pose called gate pose that is great for warming up your spine and opening up your side body, okay? So you can come towards the middle of your mat and let's take your right leg out to the side with your toes pointing forward. And we'll begin by, as much as you can, leveling off your hip bones so that they're on the same level horizontally and also front to back. So that might mean bringing your right hip bone forward and lowering it. And then take your arms straight up and side bend over your right leg so that you're opening up your side body. And you're going to rest either your forearm on your thigh or your arm is fine too. Just don't want to put your hand on your knee joint is the thing. If you're more flexible than me and your hand reaches down past your knee joint, that's totally fine. You can do that. I'm not that flexible here. So just the key thing here is don't put your hand on your knee joint. So somebody said to me the other day, if you can't teach, and you teach, Melissa. And I thought, well, that's true. I'm not sure whether that was a compliment or an insult. I think that was a compliment because I really like being a teacher. I'll never be a model on Yoga Journal, that's for sure. Okay, slowly come up And we'll do gate pose on the other side. So scoot down your mat a little bit. And this time you'll take your left leg out to the side and bring your toes so they point straight ahead. And you want to try as much as you can to level off your hip bones so that they're horizontally on the same level. And bring that hip bone forward so that they're level this way as well. Feeling this leg is a little tighter. Okay, so those are those imbalances from side to side, and that's okay. We'll work with them. And then inhale, take your arms straight up. And you're going to exhale, side bend over your left leg now, and then lower your arm down so that it's resting above or below your knee joint, but not on it. And open up your right shoulder too so that you're not rounding forward. Gate pose, the intention is to open your side body. So really, it doesn't matter how far down your leg you're coming. We're always working with intention, not destination in yoga. Breathing. Okay, and then slowly come up and bring your leg back. And we're going to work with a little bit of lunge pose to release your hips before we come into your triangle pose. So let's start with your left leg forward. So take a step forward with your left leg and lean forward, taking your hands on either side of your left foot to begin with, and feel a stretch through your right hip. So in lunge pose, I want you to feel your whole right shin on the ground. That's the shin that's behind you. Your whole left foot on the ground. And we're going to do a little bit of opening here to prepare for triangle pose too. So keeping your right hand on the ground, just open your left arm up. And then take your left hand to the ground and lift your right arm up. And then bring both hands to the ground again and lean back. And we'll switch sides for your lunge. Okay, take a step forward with your right foot. Place your hands on either side of your right foot. Tuck your tailbone under until you feel stretch in the front of your left hip this time. And it's totally fine to put a pillow or roll up your mat, double up your mat underneath your knee if your knee needs extra padding here. So stay here and stretch at the front of your left hip a little bit first. And then take your left hand on the ground and open your right arm up, rotating your rib cage. And lower that down. And we'll do that on the other side. So you'll take your right hand on the ground and lift your left arm up. And then roll back down. Great, you're doing really good. Okay, walk your hands back. And from here, you're going to need your blocks. So, you can get your blocks out. And if you don't have blocks, you could use tall soup cans or pasta jars, or whatever you could improvise with. And you're going to place them at the front of your mat. And we're going to come back into that lunge pose to start. So you'll place your right foot in between your blocks. And you're going to come into a short lunge. Okay? So that there's not much space between your heel and your knee. And you can close in this space as much as you need to, because this pose is going to require a fair amount of flexibility in your hamstrings and length in your hamstrings. Wouldn't that be great if we had hamstrings? I'm putting in orders for hamstrings. So you need length in your hamstrings, so the muscles in the backs of your legs. And when you start yoga, your hamstrings are short. I remember I used to do that series that I showed you at the beginning where you stretch at the backs of your legs. I did that probably every day for about 2 years until I got them where I wanted them to be. So hopefully that gives you hope, not make you depressed. Okay, so you can close in this space as much as you need to. Like you can even bring your knee right up to your heel if you know your hamstrings are really short and tight. Okay, and then you're going to curl your back left toes under, breathe in, and breathe out, and you're going to stretch out both legs. And I want both of your toes and your feet to be straight, pointing straight forward, like they're in railroad tracks. Okay, and you're just going to hold here, breathing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Reach your legs long out of your pelvis. Press your feet into the ground. So this is standing forward folding triangle. You're going to hinge forward at your hips. Relax your shoulders. Okay, and then bend your knees. Come back down, and we'll do this on the other side. So you'll switch the leg that's in front so that your left foot's between the blocks now. Curl your right toes under, breathe in. Breathe out and straighten out through both legs. And if you need to, like I said, you can bring your back leg in as much as you need to. You can even have your foot right behind your heel. That's totally fine. Work with where you are in your body. This is not a competition. This is not, you should look like me. This is just be where you are in your own body. You're in your own living room. Honor your own body. Be where you are. Nobody's taking notes. Nobody's keeping score. You're just feeling where you are in your body and making this pose feel right for you today. Okay, and then you're going to bend your knees again and come back down. Okay, so now we're going to build on from standing forward folding triangle to triangle. So this is the piece de resistance, what we've all been waiting for. So take your right foot between the blocks now and curl your back left toes under. Breathe in. Breathe out. Straighten out both your legs. Okay? So this might be a shorter stance triangle than you're used to doing, especially if you've been trained in Iyengar style and everything. So that's okay. It's different. We're going to let go of rules here. You're going to turn your back toes out and, okay, if you're a man, you can line up heel to arch. If you're a woman, we have wider hips, then I recommend lining up heel to heel. This gives you more space for your hips. What you're going to do is drop your sit bone, open your hip. Okay, this is another place where I really depart from other ways of teaching triangle. So, you know what? Try it different today. If you don't like it, you can go back to your way of doing it. But see how my arm's way over here where my shoulder isn't? I like you to take your block, put it right underneath your shoulder. Okay? Make it work in your body. And you're going to reach your arm right up so that your shoulders line up, and lift your arm up. Okay? There you are. Triangle pose. Now, okay, here's the other piece. One more piece to build on. If you have neck issues, you can look down at your hand, which I do. So you'll often see me looking down in triangle pose. But if you don't, you can look up at the hand that's up. Okay, so it's totally depends on your neck and your neck health. Okay, so look after your neck. If you have neck issues, you look down at your hand. If you don't, you're going to look up at the hand that's in the air. If your shoulders are really tight, just take that top arm, tuck it behind your waist. Lots of options so that triangle's comfortable for everybody. And then you're just going to find a way to let that posture out of your body. And we're going to do it on the other side. So I'm going to turn around so I'm still facing you. You can build it the same way. So take those blocks, put them at the top of your mat, or they'll still be at the top of your mat. This time you're going to place your left foot in between the blocks. Or we did left? We probably did right the last time. Yes, we did. So you're going to put your left foot in between the blocks this time. Curl your right toes under. Breathe in. Breathe out. Straighten out both your legs. And adjust your back leg as much as you need to. Okay, so you can bring it in or out to whatever feels comfortable for you. Then you're going to turn your back toes out. If you're a woman, you're going to line up heel to heel. If you're a man, you're going to line up heel to arch. Drop your left sit bone, open your right hip bone. Okay, then you're going to check where's my left shoulder. Bring the block under your left shoulder. Open your rib cage. Lift your right arm. If your neck doesn't bother you, you can look up at your right hand. If it does, you look down. Okay, so this is feeling a little funky in my low back, so I feel like I need a little more space in my pose because that was cramping and there, that low back pain went away. So make adjustments so it feels good in your body. And remember, you can always take that top arm and tuck it behind. Okay. And then you're going to find a way to let this pose out of your body. Do the silly dance. Shake it out. All right. We're going to come down to seated and take advantage of those nice open hips and nice open spines and finish with a seated twist today. So sit with your legs straight out in front of you. Bend your right leg. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Place your whole right foot on the ground. Your whole right hip and foot should be on the ground. Now, you can leave your left leg out, or if you can bring your left foot into your right hip and still have your whole right foot and right hip on the ground, then you can bring it in. Otherwise, keep it out. You're going to turn towards your right leg. Wrap your left arm around your right leg. Place your right hand at the base of your spine to lengthen it up and twist. And in the twist, you want to focus particularly on your breath out, breathing your belly back, which will help you deepen your twist. And then turn back to the center. Uncross your legs. Take your feet straight out in front of you. Slide your left leg in. Cross your left leg over your right leg so your full left foot, your full left buttocks are on the ground. You may leave your right leg out unless you can bring your right foot up to your left buttocks without your left foot and your left buttocks lifting off the ground. Okay. Sink your sit bones into the ground. Turn towards your legs, starting with your lower spine, moving up through your spine. Wrap your right arm around your leg. Press your hand into the ground to help lengthen your spine up. Breathe long, slow, deep breaths. And then turn back and uncross your legs. Take them out in front of you. Maybe just shake them out a little bit. And then you're going to lie back on your back for Savasana. So let me just help you set up your Savasana. So lie down on your back. Start with your knees bent so that you can tuck your pelvis under so that your low back is nice and long. If your low back isn't tender or sore, you don't have to leave your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. You can take your legs out long with your feet hip width apart and just let your legs roll out with your toes to the side. Your arms should be a comfortable distance from your body with your palms turned up. Take your shoulder blades and tuck them underneath you so that your shoulders are nice and heavy on the ground. Check in with your neck to make sure it's comfortable and long so that your chin and forehead are on the same level. And if you need a pillow under your head to make that happen, then you can get a little pillow. You might even want a blanket underneath, over top of you so that you don't catch a chill here. And you can rest here to receive your practice, to allow your body to integrate everything that's just happened to you over the last hour. So triangle pose is known to help improve your digestion and circulation. It helps to relieve menopausal discomfort, helps to release symptoms of sciatica. It stretches your arches, your calves, your hamstrings, your groin, opens your throat and shoulders, your hips. It lengthens your spine. It stabilizes and strengthens your legs and your torso and increases your muscular endurance. Mentally, it helps to build focus, it develops willpower, and it stimulates your mind and relieves stress. So the pose itself requires flexibility and stability in your legs, as well as openness in your hips, torso, chest, and shoulders. So there is a lot to focus on in that pose. Notice what it's like to rest back at the end of the class. It's a lot to accomplish in one class. What does it feel like to be at the other end of it now? Find some way to acknowledge yourself for your practice, for all you've done in this last hour, to honor yourself and your body, your breath, your spirit, your mind, and your emotions. Gradually allow your breath to deepen as a way to invite some movement back into your body. And then begin to allow that movement to expand through your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes and gently stretching out. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And slowly make your way up to sitting. And just so you know, you roll to your right side because this came up on the membership site this week because we put it in one of the videos there too, because this was a question that Tim asked, and it was a good question. Why do you roll to your right side? So your body tends to be more organ heavy, organ dominant on your left side because your heart is on your left side. And so you roll to your right side to create balance in your body each time you get up from your yoga practice. You roll to your right side. So when you come up to seated, bring your hands to your heart center. And we say Namaste, which means the divine light in me bows to the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for episode 156 of Namaste Yoga. I will see you on the membership site, or I will see you next week for episode 157. Namaste.